So I'd love you to share your thoughts about how we can stay steady in these times and deepen our own shamanic practices.
Well, we're living in a time where we're actually being cornered. I feel like an animal that's been cornered. And the cornering is a very positive thing in that we're being forced to really dive deep into our spiritual practices. What I'm seeing, I'm trying to stay away from too much news because it affects me in ways that isn't always healthy, and we all have to learn what works for each and what works for each and every one of us. But I'm really focusing on my spiritual practices and also trying to keep a picture of what's happening in the world so I can help to guide people. And one of the things that I'm seeing right now is that we're losing this incredible trait in shamanism of concentration. And we're just not seeing the results, the miraculous results. We're seeing many, but we're not seeing the miraculous results that we were seeing even in my lifetime. And so I've been doing a lot of reflection on this and what is happening, what is going on. And I've been looking at how some of the real key teachings in shamanism have to do with concentration and focus. Shamans really concentrate they're completely, if you ever watch a traditional shaman work, their personality, who they are, is gone. They're unrecognizable. And the spirit comes in and speaks through them and dances through them and chants through them and heals through them. And the power is amazing and the community is inspired and healing happens. And then the celebration comes on of all that's happened. And as we're looking in the world today, we have people who are so split into different beliefs and different opinions. And I'm actually talking about within the spiritual community. We know what's happening in the world, but in the spiritual community, what's happening is there's lots of opinions. There's lots of division going on. And I try to stay away from Facebook, like I try to stay away from the news. But as a teacher, I have to be observant to the energies that are going on. So I really know how to speak to my students and to people who are asking for help right now. And one of the things that I've been very struck with is that the focus of the posts on most of the different shamanic Facebook pages, I'm not on every single one, is talking from ego, talking from personality about what's going wrong and what we need to do and what's happening and what caused the virus. And the bottom line is we're speaking from ego, we're speaking from personality. And the absolute beauty of shamanism and what drew me to it 40 years ago and the practice and so many people, and it's been around for over 100,000 years, is we have access to these amazing helping spirits who are seeing what's happening on the planet Earth from a very different perspective. They have this vast vision that's millions and billions of years old. I mean, think of the elements that are billions of years old. Think of their perception of what life is about. And our helping spirits are tens of thousands of years old and have seen so much and help civilizations and people get through trying times. We have the ancestor spirits who are drumming and singing for us and trying to keep us moving forward. But what are we doing? We're talking, we're coming from ego. We're forgetting what shamanism is about. Shamanism is a practice of direct revelation. It's the first universal cross-cultural practice of spirituality that was birthed onto planet Earth. And it is a practice of direct revelation. So in the practice of shamanism, it's not about me as the practitioner. I think, I feel, my opinion is, when these big issues come about, what's happening on the planet right now, I know my ego and my personality has this tiny vision. I have this little space of time. I've only lived on the planet 67 years compared to these spirits that have been here for thousands of years. So my wisdom is not vast enough. And so when I come from my mind and I start speaking on Facebook, I'm not bringing through the true wisdom, the true knowledge that's been known to create these miraculous healings and these miraculous changes in the world. And so what's happening is we're getting distracted. There's so much information and there's so many books to read and there's so many people doing lectures and thank everybody for the free podcasts that are going on right now. Everybody's trying to fill each other with inspiration and light, and that's so beautiful. I honor that, and it's gorgeous, gorgeous work. You know, it's really bringing the feminine power into its strength and into its beauty, which is wonderful. But what it's doing is it's cutting out your shamanic perception, your personal shamanic perception. It's cutting off your communication with the spirit world because you're hearing too many voices of others telling you what you need, what's right, what you need to do right now, what will keep you healthy, what will keep you safe, and what won't. So you're cut off from your own inner radar, that your own intuition that knows what your body needs. And most of all, you're cut off from these unbelievable spiritual connections that are just waiting to bring healing, to bring a new perspective, a new way to look at what's going on, healing practices, daily practices for us to do, ceremonies that last for days and weeks to turn what's going around now, not ceremonies that are lasting 10 minutes. And so the ancient ones, the ancestors, have so much wisdom to share with us, and they didn't have the distractions. They had the full heart opening to the spirits. They had the beautiful connection with nature. May I step into your field of energy and developing this beautiful friendship so they could drop into deep listening and hear what nature's hearing from the other nature beings about what's going on in the world. They're an amazing source of information for us. And so we really need to bring concentration and focus back into our practice again. And the other thing I wanted to say is I have a really dear friend who's an elder in the Santa Clara Pueblo in New Mexico, and he's been calling me, and he keeps repeating on the phone to me constantly, Sandra, we need to bring back this simple ways. We need to bring back the simple ways. We need to bring back the simple ways. And so it's really amazing that we have these global communities to work together, to inspire each other. But what would happen if we all move into a place of silence and start to develop our ability of concentration and focus like the ancients had? And that's what's needed to add to our journeys and our ceremonies to really be able to make a true impact with what's going on in the world. Because the people who are making a true impact are using focus and concentration. And whatever impact they're making, positive or challenging, they're using focus and concentration.